this here signals to me business is still pending here. There's business to be taken care of here. I'm looking at this level here now, where I believe we'll come down to and test. And if I smell this correctly, it looks like we have a trap happening right in here right now. So those who follow the long here may actually be trapped, or the trapping right now is in the works. And what we'll have is possibly pound dollar maybe stay in this area and then come here, and then start looking for orders that went long that are trapped in here that have stop orders either below this area here. So I think this is where we're coming first to pick up orders. If the move here, which again based on this morning's activity, I don't suspect too much happening, but if the move to this level here doesn't create the kind of bounce, then we're definitely going to come back here, because I'm sure long positions in this area will have stops all the way down through here, and then there's a good chance that we keep coming down to this area down here to pick up some more orders, and at some point in time, maybe at least before the 2 o'clock. The whole thing with the FOMC, we're maybe sitting down here somewhere, or we're back in this area in here somewhere. So really somewhere in here is where I think this pound dollar may want to kind of settle at. But even if I'm wrong, let's say that the pound dollar decides to use this area to get back up to these highs and maybe go up higher. I mean, I've already put in some points in the bank from that trade, and now I'm sitting with a position to let it go and maybe fulfill this idea here that I have. But that's the way market makers are always thinking, and they're looking to catch the the unsuspected trader, constantly looking for the big home run, the breakout. That's how they get caught a lot of times in these trades. I mean, there's nothing wrong going for the home run. Just make sure when you go for the home run, if you miss, that you don't totally mess yourself up. And this is why a lot of times in these trades, I always like to wait for retracements, because if they are going to run this, then you would suspect somewhere in this area in here for the bounce to happen. And if it doesn't happen because they want to go further down, then you can look for better entries. But it really, I mean, again, as a retail trader, you get this break here, indicators, and then all your lagging indicators kick in, and a lot of times they're kicking in just about in this area, which is where you're going ahead, jumping in, going long, and it sucks because you're taking the long, pretty much at where the market may just, as you see, just runs out of gas, and they set you up, and then, it's nice if at least they give you a chance to bail out of this, but a lot of times they won't let you, and you'll see they'll just keep dripping, they'll keep dripping and dripping, and it's like they're just slowly just pushing that knife further in, and it's like, oh my gosh, and then if you're a trader that has your stop somewhere here, if you're disciplined, you'll accept the loss. But what happens is, as we all know, the closer you start seeing this order get to your entry, to where you're going to get stopped out, because you've now been holding it for a while and the knife is slowly sinking in further, you feel that, if you can just move your stop a little bit further, you can still keep this trade, give it a chance to work. And then they get here and they bounce a little bit, and you're excited because, oh, here it goes, and then they just keep dripping it down and keep it dripping it down and keep dripping it down, and it starts getting closer and closer to this area here, and you're saying, oh, wait a second, maybe if I put my stop down here, now I can give it a chance and it's going to bounce. And you get into this mindset where it's horrible, it's horrible, but this is the way 90-some percentile of traders out there. Let me not use a percentage, because Again, I haven't done a, I guess I haven't done a poll, but I'm sure a very high percentage of traders that are struggling, this is the problem they have. And, the market will find you, and eventually, what the market knows is exactly the mindset of the way traders think, these market makers. And so the next thing you find is, then they start approaching this area here, and then, at that point in time, you're already like ready to throw up, and you've got all kinds of stomach issues now, and it's horrible. And hopefully you don't make the mistake at this point in time. You've already made 2 of them if you've done kind of this stuff that I've just mentioned. But believe it or not, there are traders that say, wait a second, let me just go ahead and now bring my stop down here somewhere. And so all of a sudden you started with the discipline of trying to have your stop up here, and now you've already broken it several times, and you keep moving your stops further and further away. And the worst case out of this trade is that if it does work for you because you kept doing this, and then eventually the trade comes back, and you're able to close it for a break even or a few points, the process, the damage has already been made because you survived this, kind of, and now you think that's the way to survive trading, by doing this kind of stuff. And and then it sets you up for big time failure down the road. In the meantime, as someone who's thinking outside the box the way market makers think, this is what I've got, and I did all of this trade here while the market, the average retail trader is saying, oh man, I'm going to hit a home run. Let me chase this thing. Let's go. Look, I got my signals all came in. My signals are telling me go long, go long. And then, I recognize the opposite. And this is where I sit right now with a trade that, has a chance now to continue slowly, like I said, working its way. And this is right now the crucial level I'm looking at right here, these mid-40s. I'll have to make a decision when we're here whether to collect totally on this or take the risk of just letting it eventually, try to get another 20 extra points out of the move, where I've got my, right now, my limit set to this level down here. So this could be a 40 some point trade, about 40, almost 50 points out of the trade. Right now, my decision really is going to be, as I continue to see the cycles developing now in the pound dollar, I've got a really good feel. I'm in the start of the initiation of the cycle that I was looking for, and it's just a matter of giving it time and see if it'll unfold to what I would expect it to do. But I have some decisions to make, and the decisions are going to be: should I go ahead and collect here where I've got 25, 30 points? Or should I roll the dice and try to collect the full amount of points that I want, which are down here more along the lines of 60 to 70? And then, the only issue on that is that the time it'll take to collect those points, is it worth it when I already have here, I don't know, in a couple of hours, I've had as much as 30 points. So, it's always a matter of weighing. What do you want? Take the sure thing or try to risk trying to get more? And here goes the euro dollar, and pound dollar is doing something different, and it's all about the euro right now that seems to be by itself making a push. On the live account, I've got a better fill, so I'm actually up 32 points. I don't know, I think I'm going to collect 32. And the thing is, if I put a trailing stop, let's say I lock in 20, there's a good chance I'll get stopped out, and then I only get 20 out of it. So, yeah, I'm up now 35 points. All right, I'm going to collect 35 points on the live account, and I'll let this demo run, but on the live, I'm going to collect 35, and really pretty much call it a morning here.